Message from Sunnahfollowers. This is from Sheikh Saleh. We need to unite. Sisters, wear your hijab. Wear your beards. Be proud of your beards. Stay home, stay in your home. Stand up, unite, and stand for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's right, Saleh. We all should stand up in solidarity, not transgressing the limits of Allah, but standing together with patience and understanding. This is Sunnahfollowers.
With dignity, humility, and balance.
If you want to learn about how to balance and maintain your faith every day, you need to be here at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, being taught by Ustad Shiva, streaming on all major platforms. Channel Sunnahfollowers. Hope to see you there, inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Yusuf and this is Ayub. And if you are benefiting like we are from the classes and the ongoing programming and tuning into the Sunnahfollowers, please donate. Let this be an ongoing sadaqah jariyah on your behalf. You're helping the kids, the converts, and everyone seeking knowledge. And it's a wealth of information every day you tune in. Don't forget, you are being rewarded for your generous donations to keep this programming on air. You know, just like what you're hearing, put your dollar where the dollar's at. Right here on Sunnahfollowers. Don't forget, donate. Right here to Sunnahfollowers and dollars Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Listen, we are in dire need of donations to keep these shows running and available for you 24/7. So that means when you're in the car, it's available for you to listen to. Whether you're at work, streaming, playing a game, it's available for you to listen to. Rowing your deen and learning about the beautiful, beautiful, beautiful different topics of Islam. Listen, one of the heaviest deeds that could be placed on your scale on the Day of Judgment is sadaqah jariyah. Yes, I know, I'm trying to build deeds daily. So you can too. So listen, feel free and please, from the bottom of your heart, donate to this wonderful cause, wonderful website and platform to continually push out shows that will benefit you and the Muslim Ummah. Yes, you can donate by going to the Sunnahfollowers.net website, pressing the donate tab. You can also scan the QR code in YouTube on the far left top of our videos that are streaming. Listen guys, this is very important and take this as important. We want to keep this programming available for you 24/7 so that you have access in your car, anywhere you choose to tune in to this wonderful programming. Yes, guys, it's all at your disposal. So listen, feel free to donate. Once again, remember, sadaqah jariyah, one of the heaviest deeds on your scale on the Day of Judgment.
One of the 10 who Jannah was promised, the second caliph, a strong, devout, noble, and fierce soldier of Allah, made an impact in Islam. His name, Umar ibn al-Kitab. Continuing in this series, the companions of the Prophet, taught by Brother Mukhtar Shaheed, streaming on all major platforms. Stay tuned for the time and date, right here, channel Sunnahfollowers.
Proper Aqidah, Quran and Sunnah, Quran and Sunnah, Minhaj and Aqidah, actions speak louder than words,
Sunnah-following kids, come with me.
Gotta work hard to
Ina alhamdulillah. Wassalam ala wa rasulullah. I'd like to welcome everybody to our Sunnah follower kids and new shahadah program, which is every Sunday at this time. And this is the class whereas we go over another one of the books from Dr. Kareem Abu Zaid's collections. This is his book entitled Jews Amana for the Children. It's called My First Jews Emma. My First Jews Emma. And this is a great book also for the new Shahadas because so many of the new Shahadas struggle understanding the meaning of these Arabic terms. And I really like the way Dr. Kareem Abu Zaid put this book together. He reviews the last surahs, the last 13 surahs of the Quran or chapters of the Quran, and he breaks down their meaning in simple terms, whereas they not only do the kids understand the meaning, but the meaning is also great for the new shahadas too. And today we're going to go over the meaning of a great surah of the Quran that will help to inspire each and every one of us to have fear of Allah, because this is a problem that many of us face today, as we've been speaking about all week. Why is it that so many of us as Muslims commit sins? We deliberately, intentionally disobey Allah. I mean, none of us are perfect. We all make mistakes. We all commit sin, but there's a difference between deliberately and intentionally disobeying Allah and just, doing it not intentionally. Why is it that we deliberately disobey Allah? It's because we have no fear of Him. We don't fear His punishment. And this is just the state of the human being. The human being thinks that he or she will live forever. We just don't want to accept the reality that there's consequences for the choices that we make in this world, that we will have to eventually be held accountable for our decisions, for our choices, for our actions. So, one of the great things about those last chapters of the Quran is they help to develop that fear of Allah, that fear of accountability. And the chapter that we're going to go over today helps with that. It helps to develop that fear of Allah. So again, for those of you on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, Kick, Twitter, you all can see my background. You can see my PowerPoint. For those of you following me and listening to me and watching me on Beagle, please open up a tab on YouTube on your phone or your tablet. Have your tablet handy or another phone handy. Go to my YouTube channel with Sunnahfollowers or Layla Nashiba. We'll look at the live. That way you can, and turn the sound down or off, so that way you can listen to me on Beagle and just watch the video of the PowerPoint, because this is great. And make sure that you have the whole family learning and participating in this class too, so they can walk away with benefit too. Remember, we want to start our day remembering Allah, and we want to end our day remembering Allah. Remember, the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said the time will come where a person will wake up a believer and go to bed an unbeliever, or wake up an unbeliever and go to bed a believer. He was talking about the days in which we're living in today, like I talked about yesterday when I did the Mekah Siddiq Tafsir of Surah Ibrahim. Every night when we go to bed, we should ask ourselves, am I going to bed a believer or am I going to bed an unbeliever? Because whenever we commit sin, the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said a person is not a believer when he or she is sinning, because faith will disappear from your heart and it does not come back until you stop the sin. So how many of us went to sleep last night an unbeliever? Okay? How many of us woke up an unbeliever? That's powerful, isn't it? I'm telling you, if we start living each day of our life that way, questioning ourselves throughout the day, that's what I do. That's what I'm doing now. I'm questioning myself. This is how the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam trained the companions to hold ourselves accountable. As you go through each moment of the day, question yourself. Am I a believer at this moment? Am I an unbeliever at this moment? Am I deliberately, intentionally indulging in sinful things that I know I shouldn't be doing? I can honestly say, I'm good right now. I'm good. I'm righteous. I feel good right now. I'm happy because I'm doing good deeds. These are the days of Dhul Hijjah too. I'm doing what I do best. I'm conveying the truth. I'm teaching Allah's religion. This is what I do best. I'm remembering Allah. I've been up ever since I woke up. I've been spending my day remembering Allah, making videos, putting the sharing the knowledge of Islam, conveying the message of the truth. I'm doing good. If Allah were to take my soul, if I were to drop dead right now, inshallah, I'm dying in a state of belief. That's a good feeling. I can honestly say I'm not indulging deliberately, intentionally in no sinful actions right now. Can we all say that? I'm in a state of remembrance of Allah, learning the religion, teaching the religion, studying the religion. That's an action of remembrance of Allah. All of you right now, listen to me, you're engaging in an action of remembrance of Allah, and you're getting triple the reward because these are the days of Dhul Hijjah too. Good deeds. If you were to fall out your chair and hit your head and die, it's a good ending right now. So that's the beauty of these last verses of last chapters of the Quran. They remind us of death, and that they'll make us hold ourselves accountable throughout the day of what we're doing. Okay, one of the brothers here is asking Sister Layla, how much Islamic knowledge do I need to know to enter paradise? Just what you're learning from me. All you have to know is the basics. All you have to know to enter paradise is have the correct Aqidah. The stuff that I am teaching you here. These classes that I am teaching you. This is all you need to know. Your Aqidah. Your Aqidah has to be correct. And you have to know the obligations. You have to fulfill your obligations. Know how to pray. Know how to fast. Know how to fulfill your obligations. That's all. You don't have to know the history of Islam. You don't have to know how to read the Quran in Arabic. You don't have to memorize the Quran in Arabic or none of that. You don't have to memorize the hadith or know the laws of fiqh and all of that. You have to know the basics. You have to know La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah and know what your obligations are. That's it. But the reality is most of us as Muslims don't understand any of that. We don't know that. The stuff that I teach, what I am teaching you guys here in my classes, this is the basics. This is the stuff you need to know to get into paradise. The basics. And most Muslims don't know any of this. Okay? So let me put the PowerPoint up on the screen because today we're going to go over and review this chapter of the Quran. And for those of you on Bigo, make sure you open me up on your phone or tablet on YouTube. Everybody else on YouTube, look at your screen. Inshallah, you'll see this. I'm going to make me move this Zoom room. Yes, you can join my Zoom room too. The Zoom room is www.sunnahfollowers.net. Click on the tab that says Zoom room. That'll bring you directly into our Zoom room. And by the way, our Zoom room is open 24 hours. It's always open. Yes. Yes. Okay, and here we go. Let me make it big screen. Yeah. These are the two books. And by the way, these books can be purchased, both of these, on Amazon too. This is the book, My First Judgement, by Dr. Kareem Abu Zaid. This is for the kids. It says My First Judgement for young believers. But it's great for the new shahadahs too. My new shahadah adults, they love this book too, because even though it's written for the kids, they're understanding it. Okay? And also the second book is written by Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli. Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli. It's called He Was. This is also on Amazon. This book is only like $6. Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli, all his books are very, 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 very low priced. He's not doing it for the money. He's doing it just to get into paradise. And this book is these are hadiths that detail the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's character. Okay, so these are the two books. This is how they look on Amazon. You want to get both of them. My First Judgement by Dr. Kareem Abu Zaid, and the book He Was by Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli. Okay? And you can take screenshots with your phone of all the PowerPoints. Okay, so this is a picture of Dr. Kareem Abu Zaid, because nowadays it's very important. It's very important that we know who we are getting our knowledge of Islam from, because we're living in the days of fitan, the days where Islam has become strange and distorted. This is Sheikh Kareem Abu Zaid, and tonight we're going to be going over Surah Takwir. Takwir. We're going to speak about the Day of Judgment, and I want everyone to take to heart these words and keep these words, these descriptions of the Day of Judgment in your mind and heart all week. Because when you think about these beautiful descriptions, they're beautiful but terrifying descriptions of the Day of Judgment. When you are tempted to do haram things, you think about these descriptions of the Day of Judgment that Allah has given us, and it'll make you say no to your desires. When you women are tempted to message those men who you are attracted to on social media, when you should not be messaging them, those famous brothers, y'all know we in the days of fame. Okay, David Bowie talked about it in the 70s. Is it any wonder? Yes, it is. This fame, the days of celebrities. When you sisters are, looking for the Brad Pitts of Islam, you're moved by the good speakers, the Brad Pitts, the Tom Cruises of Islam, and you're tempted to go on their Facebook pages and their Instagram pages and their TikTok pages and try to put your perfume on to try to get there and stomp your feet to get their attention by putting hearts and check marks and circles and comments all over their post just to be seen, so they can take a look at you and comment back to you. That's your perfume. So you can be acknowledged when Allah done told you, believing women, to carry yourselves better in the public, to not be seen in the public, to not bring attention to yourself. You ain't got no business on those men's pages anyway, because number one, they're not your husband, they're not your relative, they're not your brother, they're not a mahram, they ain't your imam, they're not your co-worker, they're not your doctor, your lawyer, they're nothing to you. and they're not teaching you or telling you anything about Islam that you ain't already heard from a woman like Layla Nashiba or from your local imam. Okay? When you're tempted to do that, I want y'all to think about these verses of the Quran that Allah has made clear about what's going to happen on the day of judgment to women and men who give in to their desires and can't control their fingers and end up falling victim to that adultery on the internet with the adultery of the fingers and stuff. And that goes for you kids too, because you kids are doing that stuff too, that fornication of the fingers on social media and stuff too. All right? So let's take a look at this chapter of the Quran. Once upon a time in the early days of Islam, there was a special chapter in the Quran called the chapter Takwir, which means the wrapping up. The wrapping up. That's what it means in English. This chapter was revealed to show us what will happen on the day of judgment. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever wants to know what will happen on the day of judgment and would like to see it as if he could see it with his own eyes, then read that chapter. A lot of us ask the question, you know, as kids, you want to know what's going to happen on the day of judgment. You'll ask your mother, you'll ask your father, you'll say, Umi, Abby, what's going to happen on the day of judgment? For the adults, you will say, Sister Layla, can you tell me what's going to happen on the day of judgment? You'll go to your real local imam and you'll say, Imam, what's going to happen on the day of judgment? Well, the Prophet used to tell the people, you want to know what's going to happen? Pick up the Quran, read Surah At-Takwir, because Allah tells you what's going to happen on that day. This chapter, it paints a vivid and powerful picture of the end of the world. It makes you feel as though you are witnessing it, because no one can give a better description than Allah can. So you get to hear it from Allah himself, because remember, the Quran is not the creation of Allah. It's the words of Allah. So Allah tells us what's going to happen on that day. And he details it as if you can see it happening. It helps us to understand the reality of that day. And if you truly believe La ilaha illallah, if you truly believe in Allah, when you read what Allah says will happen, it's going to cause your belief in Allah to strengthen. It's going to cause you to fear that day. It's going to make you think twice before you pick up a bottle of alcohol to drink it. It's going to make you think twice before you take your fingers on that keyboard to type a check mark on a man's social media lecture who is no kin to you, because your desires is telling you adulterate, 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 adulterate. I'm telling you, if you really believe in Allah, you're going to take those fingers and bite them off. You're going to bite them off. You're going to bite them off. So I'm telling you, people, brothers and sisters, I want y'all to do that tonight. Read Surah At-Takwir, because you'll understand the reality of the day of judgment. It shows you what will happen. Allah details how the sun will go dark on that day, how the stars will fall out of the sky, and everything that we know in this world will change. And also, Allah reminds us that the Quran, it's the words of Allah delivered by the angel Jibril to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And when we reflect on those words, we learn how to live our lives in a way that will prepare us for that day. So even though the message is scary, when you read that surah, the Quran, it's going to frighten you. But Allah will balance your fear out, and it will cause you, he'll balance your fear out and tell you, but that's okay. This will happen, but it'll happen too. But the only ones who will fear this are those who live their life in this world disobeying me. You won't fear it if you lived your life in this world obeying me. So Allah details in that chapter how the sun will lose its light, the sun will go dark, it will no longer shine, it will become wrapped up in darkness. The stars will fall from the sky and disappear. They won't twinkle anymore. What about the mountains? The mountains will crumble. They'll be moved away. They will vanish, disappear, turn to dirt. Even the animals will come together. The animals that used to be apart from each other, they will gather together on that day. And guess what? The ocean will overflow and catch on fire. Can you imagine that? The entire sea will be on fire. It will be scary. And all the people, all the human beings will be gathered today, joined together with their souls. The dead, y'all see that show called The Walking Dead? The dead will come up out of their graves. They will come back to life to be judged. All of that reminds us that Allah is in control of everything, and nothing is impossible for him. And again, even though these scenes will be scary, Allah lets us know, but for those of us who lived our lives obeying him, like the brother here asked, what do we need to know? All we need to know are the basics. You need to know what it means to believe La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. You need to know what allegiance to Allah entails, what allegiance to the Prophet Muhammad entails, what allegiance to this religion entails, what allegiance to each other entails. You need to know what your obligations to Allah are, what your obligations to the Prophet are, what your obligations to other Muslims are, what your obligations to this religion are. And you got to know how to distance yourself from any and everything that opposes all of that. That's what we have to know. You have to know what your obligations are as a husband, as a wife. You have to know what good character is. You have to know what bad character is. Good character is not on the internet flirting with women and men. Good character is not on the internet picking up women and men. Good character is not smoking weed. Good character is not drinking alcohol. Good character is not walking out the house dressed inappropriately. Good character is not cursing, swearing. Good character is not selling drugs. You have to know what good character is. These are the things we have to know. For those of us who knew those things and lived it, we don't have to fear this. There'll be no fear for those of us who lived and honored La ilaha illallah, because Allah will keep us under his shade. He will keep us under his protection. So again, that's the homework for this week. The homework for this week is I want every Muslim, male, female, child, and adult to read Surah Takwir and ponder the words, because if we do that, I'm telling you, it's going to change your life. You're going to live the rest of this week being more conscientious of the choices you make, the decisions you make. You're going to think twice before you indulge or engage in haram activity. So now, let me give you guys a quiz to see how well you understood what I'm teaching. First question, true or false? Surah Takwir speaks about the day of judgment. Is this true or false? Go ahead, sister Asma and Najma.
True.
Does everybody agree?
Yes.
Yes, this is true. Good job. This is true. That's the surah that talks about the day of judgment in detail. That's why I want y'all to read it. What about this? True or false? The sun will continue to shine on the day of judgment. Is that statement true or false? Tahira?
It's false.
Does everybody agree? Is it false?
Yes, it's false.
Yes. Good job. This is false. The sun will not shine on the day of judgment. Good job, Amina, too. We got Amina, sister Amina in there, too. What about this? True or false? The mountains will stand tall and firm on the day of judgment. Amalia, go ahead.
False. It's false because they will crumble apart.
Exactly. This is false. The mountains will crumble and fall apart on the day of judgment. They will not stand tall and firm. Good job, Sister Elma, too. Good job. What about this? The stars will stay in the sky on the day of judgment. Is that statement true or false? Go ahead, Anaya.
False.
Does everybody agree?
Yes. Yes.
Good job. This is false. The stars will fall out of the sky. They will not stay in the sky on the day of judgment. Good job. Now it gets a little complicated. What about this? What happens to the sun on the day of judgment? Does it become brighter? Wait a minute. Does it become dark and wrapped up? Or does it move closer to the earth on the day of judgment? What happens to the sun on the day of judgment? Go ahead, Asma and Najma.
It becomes dark and wrapped up.
You guys agree?
Yes.
Good job. Yes, that's why it's called wrapped up. Exactly. And by the way, guys, let me tell you what's going to happen to the sun. On the day of judgment, Allah will take the sun and throw it into the hellfire. Why? Because there is no need for the sun in the hereafter, and also because the sun was something that the people used to worship in this world. So Allah will wrap the sun up and throw it into the hellfire on the day of judgment, just so you guys know. Okay, next question. Who brought the message of the Quran to the Prophet Muhammad? Was it the angel Jibril? Was it the angel Michael or was it the angel Israfil? Go ahead, Sister Tahira.
Angel Jabril.
You guys agree? Was it angel Jabril?
Yes.
Good job. Exactly. It was Jabril alayhi salam. Good job, Fatima, too. Good job. The angel Jabril was the angel. And by the way, I want y'all to know the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam had one teacher. He did not have two, nor did he have three or four teachers. The only teacher he had was the angel Jabril alayhi salam. And I think that's another problem with Muslims today. We're hopping around on the internet, learning from too many people. You need to find one teacher and stick with that one teacher, because most of the people that you're learning from are innovators anyway. Not everybody teaches the same, number one. Teachers have their own different style and technique. A lot of people don't teach the way I teach. I don't teach the way other people teach. We have our own style, our own technique. And number two, a lot of these people don't have the same minhaj or the same way of understanding. A lot of you are learning from people who belong to Sufi backgrounds, you know. When we teach here at Sunnahfollowers, everything we teach here is based on the Quran and the authentic hadith with the understanding of the original companions. We do not teach from a madhab, nor do we teach from any school of thought, nor do we teach from fatwa or opinion. We follow nothing but the Quran, the Sunnah, and the understanding of the companions. So when you come learn from me and then you go learn from somebody who follows a madhab, you're going to be confused. Or you follow someone from the Sufi minhaj, you're going to be confused. So that's a big problem. You need to find one teacher and stick with that one teacher. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had one teacher, not two. Okay? So now let's get to the hadith for the week. And by the way, this is a picture of Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli. Now that I've shown his picture, do you people know who he is? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the sisters from Reddit. The brothers. Oh, the brothers know who he is. The brothers on Facebook, y'all know who Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli is. Now that I got this picture. Yeah, very well known. By the way, I used to be married to him. How do you brothers feel about that? That used to be my husband. That was my last husband. Oh, yeah. Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli. Yes, this is his book. Oh, now you're going to buy the book. Right. Now you see who wrote the book. That's why I use the pictures. Now do you guys see why I use the pictures? You need to know who you're taking your knowledge from, because there are so many people out there teaching and you don't know who these people are, what they're calling you to. So now that the brothers here on Facebook see who the book is written by, now you're going to go buy it. Right. It's only $6. Yes, you don't have to go to his website. Yeah, this is on Amazon. Yeah, any books. Yeah, I think he's put some more of his books on there too. Yes. So now you acquaint with who he is. Yes, alhamdulillah. Yeah, that's a good picture of him, isn't it? Yeah, that's a good picture of him. Okay, so let's look at our hadith for today. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I used to be married to him. Yeah, I was married to him. Yeah, he didn't know. You didn't know. Yeah. Okay. We're going to speak about the character, one of the characteristics of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was very considerate. Our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was very considerate of others. And this is another characteristic that has disappeared, that is disappearing today. A lot of Muslims are not considerate of other Muslims. We're not considerate of other Muslims' feelings. We're not considerate of other Muslims' time. We're not considerate of other Muslims' emotional state. We're not considerate of other Muslims' mental conditions. You know, we say things that can hurt other Muslims. We ask questions that can hurt other Muslims. We don't think. And then we turn it around after we say things without thinking. And then when we get a bad reaction, then we turn it, rather than say, wow, I wasn't thinking, I brought that on myself because I should have never brought that up. We turn it around and make it like the person was wrong, when in reality it was us. We did it to ourselves because we're the one that has the problem, because we are not mindful of others. We're not mindful and considerate of other people's conditions, their mental state or their mental feelings. You know that a person is sensitive about certain things. How many of you are married? This is for the Muslim women and men here, the new shahadahs. How many of you are married? You know, why is it that we have a high divorce rate? You know what upsets your husband. You know what upsets your wife. You know that you got a husband that's jealous. You got a wife that's jealous. Don't no wife want you to ask about another woman. Why would you ask your wife about another woman, especially if it's a woman that you were married to before, or a woman that you were interested in? If it's a woman that she knows you had a personal interest in, why would you ask her about that woman? And then when your wife goes off on you about it, because that's her trigger. What woman isn't jealous of another woman, especially if your wife you don't spend time with her, especially if you married to your wife and she doesn't get to see you ever hardly. And then when your wife goes off on you, you turn it around and make it like she's the bad one, when it was you, because you are not considerate of her feelings. You are unmindful of her emotional state, when you're the one who made her the way she is, because you're the one who's not doing your job as a man, as a husband, to accommodate her emotional state. Our Prophet Muhammad wasn't like that. Our Prophet Muhammad had a lot of wives, but he was mindful of all of their emotional states. He made them all feel loved. He made them all feel wanted. He made them all feel desired and special. And he didn't make mistakes like that, asking them about a woman who they knew that he was interested in. We don't think. So let's take a look at this hadith here. One of the companions tells us that Abdullah used to give a religious talk to the people every Thursday. And once a man said, "Oh, Abdul Rahman, by Allah, I wish if you could preach to us daily." And he said, "The only thing that prevents me from doing so is that I don't want to bore you. Indeed, I take care in preaching to you. That's why I select a suitable time, just as the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to do with us. for fear of not boring you. So here we can see in this example, I took it on a personal level with a lot of you because a lot of you are women who are listening to me, and a lot of you are having problems in your marriages. You come to me with your personal issues, and a lot of you brothers are not mindful of your wives. You go through women like you go through underwear, and this is probably one of the reasons why, because you're not mindful. Okay. Well, here we can see our prophet was so mindful. Why is it that our prophet did not do lectures every day? Because he didn't want to bore the people. You know, that was a different time, a different era, a different mentality. Nowadays, we have to have lectures every day because the people's mentality is different. The people are into different things. The companions were stronger in their iman than us. The companions didn't need to be reminded of paradise, reminded of temptation, reminded of Allah every day, because they were stronger in their iman, stronger in their practice than us. They were not into the dunya like we are today. But today we have to give lectures 2, 3, 4 times a day because we're so weak emotionally, and we're weak spiritually. We need these, like for example, my classes. You need my website to keep you focused and balanced. Otherwise, you will succumb to your environment. But our prophet, he knew how to read a room. He knew how to read the environment, to read the people. He was aware of their emotional state, their mental state. And he knew when to hold and knew when to fold with his people. And we Daya need to take a lesson from this. Know when to hold, know when to fold with your people. For example, myself, my dawah, even though I have men here learning from me, my dawah is aimed at women. And most of the women that are learning from me are housewives. They sit at home and this is what we do. They clean, they cook, they take care of their kids. And my lectures are twice a day. It keeps them focused. It helps them to get through their day, and their kids participate. You know, you have to read your audience, know their routine, know what's going on with them. Our prophet was keen on making sure to pick the best times for people to receive knowledge and remembrance. We have to do the same. Our prophet made efforts so his listeners could be mentally and emotionally prepared to learn and retain the knowledge. We should do the same as Daya. And also, you have to know how to approach your audience, how to deal with them on their level. You have to know how to approach them according to where they are and what culture they come from too. Culture is important because you can put people to sleep. So again, great lessons for us to learn and take with us for the rest of the week here at Sunnahfollowers, for the kids and for the adults. Again, please guys, I want you guys, for those of you who are new to learning from me, please share my website, my channel to everybody you know. I'm trying to appeal to the Muslims around the world. I've been doing this for a long time. You know, my dawah is geared towards all Muslims, male and female. I try to hit the women, but the men I have more male followers than I do women. Men are welcome, long as you guys are respectful, like you brothers are. But I try to center my dawah towards women in particular, mainly. So I'm going to stop right here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Also, let me remind everybody, at 6 o'clock, we have my class on allegiance. and disassociation. And at 7, we have the Caliphate of Umar, radiallahu anha. My cousin Mukhtar. Mukhtar will be doing the Caliphate of Umar, radiallahu anha. And then tonight at 9:30, I will continue with the Mecca Siddiq Tafsir of Surat Ibrahim. Okay, are there any questions or comments?
No.
Okay, so I want to thank everybody for joining. I'll be back at 6. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum, everybody.
Walaikum salam.
Walaikum salam. Walaikum salam.